Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another review for Invincible. Just been going through Invincible lately, really enjoying the hell out of it. I know there was a couple people, not many, but just a few, that wanted to see some more reviews from me for Invincible. I read most of the series at this point, and I decided what I would start with is some of the best parts. So in this one, I'm going to be doing a review for Volume 14 of Invincible. This one is the Viltrumite War. Right, so this one was released May 2011, Volume 14, and they're in reboot right now, which is Volume 22. So Invincible, of course, Robert Kirkman's other comic book series. I mean, he's got quite a few he's done and tried over the years, with The Walking Dead being pretty much his big claim to fame. But Invincible does well by itself too. Even by itself from comic book sales is enough, I would think, for Kirkman and Ottley to make a pretty good living on, because it is another great comic book series, I think, from him. And a lot of people were like, anybody pretty much who's read the series, I think, pretty much gets hooked. If you haven't read Invincible yet, I'm going to spoil some things in this review in what is probably the best volume of the series, or one of them. This or number 12 or number 14, where Invincible faces off against Conquest. And this, well, yeah, I don't want to... Okay, so spoiler warning, you face off against him twice. And in Volumes 12 and Volume 14. And I think it's probably the best part of Invincible for me as a reader. It's my favorite part of the series. And I've read pretty much the whole thing through. There's like one or two trades right now I haven't gone through because I haven't got them yet. They're on their way. So Invincible is a really fun series. To compare it to something else, it's kind of like if Superboy was cool. That's it. If Superboy was cool, he would be Invincible, is basically it. To compare it to something, this one is a war. So this is like a kind of like a universal war, not even a world war, but like a universal war in this trade. And you get to see Invincible and his team, including his father, Nolan, face off against the Viltrumites. Invincible is, here's a cool, some awesome artwork here on the back. There you have Invincible in the middle, his dad at this side, and then you have Al the alien here, which is another really, really cool character. At the bottom here you have Conquest, really awesome villain. So and Ryan Ottley's artwork, man, is something absolutely incredible. I mean, if you look at some of these pages and everything, let me get some of the good ones, man. I mean, just absolutely awesome stuff. It's kind of like the closest thing I think I can compare it to, I can't even really compare it much to Superman, almost, because Superman rarely includes this kind of awesome action and consistent fighting in battles, and characters getting their guts smashed out and heads ripped off and stuff like that, which Invincible does include. Maybe Dragon Ball is about the closest thing I could kind of compare it to, but it's more brutal than Dragon Ball Z, I would say. I mean, check this one out. You've got Invincible here, he's laying there, and he's just got all of his guts everywhere. It's brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Sometimes as brutal or worse than in The Walking Dead. The blood splatter everywhere as Conquest headbutts Nolan in the nose. And here you got Invincible, and he's going at him, and he's smashing him. And you have people, their teeth will be flying out, their arms will get ripped off, they'll just get absolutely smashed, because of course this is a superpower type of series, which most feels like, the universe itself feels probably most like DC, but yet not pulling any punches. You have characters getting killed, characters getting ripped apart, stuff that you would expect to see if you were to have like a real battle with Superman against, or Superboy against, some other villains. Sometimes he might accidentally, rip someone's head off or punch someone through the torso, and his arm might go right through and stuff. Stuff like that would probably happen if he lost his cool. And you see Invincible's little brother, Oliver, he's had some cool parts throughout the series where he kind of loses his cool and on Earth, and actually kills people and does things that he's on accident. So in this one, to sum up the issue and what happens the trade, this is issues 71 through 78. This is the kind of climax of the series so far, I would say, with the actual war. There's been kind of a war brewing between Invincible is a Viltrumite, as well as his father is too, Nolan is too. And then you have, we find out kind of one of the twists in the series is that they're actually not good guys, like you would have Superman of Krypton, for example, is he's a good guy. He's not sent out to conquer planets or anything like that. In this one, that's kind of the twist of the series, is that they actually are bad. They come from a race of conquerors. They come from a race like Conquest here, for example, that are not good people. They're kind of they take the kind of Darwinian ideals of strength and survival of the fittest to the next level. They'll battle to the death. They honor the winner. They don't honor the loser of any battle. And the person at the top is basically the toughest. Thragg is the toughest of them all. So he's the strongest. He's born to for battle. He's born to be conditioned to be pretty much the strongest of them all, and pretty much one of the best fighters and the strongest characters in all the universe. So he commands the Viltrumites, who are basically the bad guys, and you have Invincible and his father, as well as their whole team, including other people out there in the universe. They have like these international, or sorry, I'm saying international. It's like interplanetary police force, where they're like cops, like Alan's like a space cop, so to speak, and they go around, maybe similar something to like in DC the Green Lantern Corps, I want to say almost, where they go around and they protect planets and they make sure everything's okay and this kind of deal. And the war breaks out between them and the Viltrumites, and here's a good scene here with Conquest. Does this chop thing that the Viltrumites seem to like to do repetitively, and he punches Invincible, or he does it through Invincible's stomach, and it goes through his fucking spine. And then here he is like choking him here. So this is the issue when all his shit hits the fan, and the Viltrumites, finally get some resistance from everybody else, basically teaming up and fighting back against them. And there's some pretty cool reveals throughout it, which I won't get into too much because I don't want to give away everything. If you haven't read, I know a lot of people haven't checked out the series, and I really think you should, because I'm telling you, man, it's pretty incredible. Let me get some good splash pages here to show battle between Conquest and Invincible is absolutely incredible. As Conquest, kind of does this chop thing through his stomach, and it goes through his spine and everything. Invincible is choking him to the point where he's not able to get any oxygen and choking him out, so to speak, which is great and one of the most intense battles I've ever read. You have Tech Jacket, who's another one of Kirkman's characters here that had his own series. It didn't really pan out, at least not long term. I'm not sure how many sales it did or if it did okay or not, but it didn't last is what really matters. It was not one of the series that was long running. But he's been incorporated into the Invincible universe, which is a lot of fun. And he's kind of like maybe Guyver, if you've ever seen that anime, or like kind of like Iron Man, but minus the Tony Stark. He's just like a regular kind of person type of deal, and he doesn't have billions of dollars or anything like that. But he's got really cool tech armor type thing, which is kind of like alive, and it can make changes and adjustments and do things, and he's not 100% sure what it's going to do type of deal. So he's a little bit different from Iron Man in that degree, but I would compare him most to Guyver or something like that. So let's see what else we got. He's right here. That's Tech Jacket right there. He's got like a cannon on his arm. He's a fun character. I also like Alan the Alien too. He's really fun with the one eye and stuff, and he's insanely huge, and he's like real tanky and strong and everything. So the characters are really great, a lot of fun to read, and I think Thragg is a really good villain here. He is here, and there's one splash page here where he's going to say you're all next, and I got to get it for you guys because you got to see this one. This one's cool too, where you have kind of their joint forces all together. Got Battle Beast here, he's fun. There's Alan up there, Nolan, and everybody. Oliver here is a little half alien brother, which is fun. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So here's right where the Viltrumites are flying in. There's Thragg there. Let's see, and then all the shit hits the fan. Here's the battle. There's a guy, Alan's punching one of them through their stomach up through his mouth. It's brutal. Invincible trying to punch Thragg, but again, he's so powerful it doesn't really do much. Thragg ripping off Oliver's arm and hitting him in the mouth to the point where his teeth are just boom, they're just like shattered everywhere. There's like teeth flying out. Oh man, it's absolutely incredible. And here's a couple that send home the message really well. You've got him ripping off the head of Thanos' Revenge. He rips his goddamn head off. Really, really cool. And here's a really cool splash page here. You're all next. You see his face like that. So the issue ends, basically the war goes through. Tech Jacket, who's kind of an unlikely, he seems out of his element, but he actually is useful, and they're able to destroy the Viltrumites' planet. as a result, they pretty much win the war, so to speak, because they're able to do that. But they don't really seem to, because they kind of lose to Thragg still. Like, there's Invincible there and his dad, and they're in really bad shape. But the Viltrumites decide to leave, and they actually go to Earth to stay on Earth and pretty much hide, I want to say, or just kind of survive there. Invincible has some kind of thoughts of what it would be like, or when they go to Earth. And here is Anissa. She's like chopping off Adam Eve right here, her head, and all kinds of other stuff, and they're just absolutely brutalizing them all because they're so much more powerful than anybody on Earth at that time. And here's a good, like, kind of vision dream sequence type of thing where he's got, Thragg's got Invincible's mom's head. He says, "Pity your son wasn't here to see this." This is all, of course, in Invincible's mind. He just knows that they're at Earth, but he doesn't know, what's happening there. He assumes the worst. But actually, when he gets there, it's actually not like that. Thragg is really just kind of there to survive, and he's pretty much letting him know that they don't really have to worry. They're just going to kind of blend in and just kind of survive. And then he needs their answer right away. And his dad, Nolan, talks him into, allowing it. Because if he doesn't, his answer is yes, he says here. If he doesn't, it's going to be, apocalypse, so to speak. It's going to be the devastation, Armageddon, so to speak. So this is one of my favorite trades I've ever read, I want to say, of any series. Reading the series all the way through, this is the peak kind of point in it. And it's just so much fun. The art is so incredible. I don't usually go through and show you guys so much of a trade when I do a review or a comic book. But with this one, because Ottley's artwork is so incredible, I just felt like, you know what, I have to show, I just have to show a lot of these pages because they're so amazing. The artwork is so incredible that I wanted to give you guys an idea in case you haven't read it, or if you just follow the channel but you've never actually read Invincible, or if you just kind of want to know a little bit more about Kirkman's other work and you like The Walking Dead, as many of you I know do, and you just don't know much about it. So in terms of score for this one, this is like a 10 for me. I mean, this had me on the edge of my seat when I was reading it all the way through because of all the build up to this point with the Viltrumite War, and also not knowing what's going to happen, because this, to me at this time when I read this, Volume 14, it's still kind of a new universe to me. I don't really know where Kirkman's going to go with it, versus when you have DC or you have Marvel, you kind of have an idea of probably what they're going to do or what they're going to go with. If someone gets killed off, they're going to bring him back. If you kind of have an idea. So this is kind of a neat one for me because I'm not really familiar. At this point, I was not that familiar. I'd read the other volumes prior with the Invincible universe. So for me, this one's a 10. It's one of my favorite trades ever, and it's one of the ones I wanted to review right away, as well as Volume 12 I'll probably review pretty soon. If you guys like this, though. If you don't like it and you're not interested at all in Invincible, then maybe I won't do it, because I don't want to piss off subscribers and be like, hey, why are you filling my subscription box full of this crap that I don't like, and people start unsubscribing or something. I love to do stuff like this, and I will, as long as it doesn't tick anybody off. So if you guys have read Invincible, let me know what you think. Write it in the comments below. Would you like to see more reviews from me giving my thoughts on more of the trades? I have pretty much all of them at this point. I could really go through and review them all, but it depends whether or not you guys would be into that, whether or not you would want to see it is really what it comes down to. Because like I said, I don't want to upset subscribers. So 10 out of 10 for me. One of my favorite trades I've ever read. The best part of Invincible, I think, or at least the most exciting for me as a reader. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you got a chance to check it out, or if you haven't, let me know what you think about the summary and whether or not you think it's interesting. Write your comments below. If you like this video, as usual, you can thumb it up below. You can also share, and you can favorite at the bottom left. And if you're new and you want to subscribe and you want to see more Invincible stuff, comment, message me, let me know if you want to see more, and subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. For today, guys, I'll see you again real soon for another, of course, Walking Dead video, and the usual stuff. I'll mix it up sometimes with a little bit of different stuff here and there. I like to mix it up sometimes. So Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys later.